had that right there. Um, you put cops. Nah, I was just fucking around, dog. But I haven't been kicked off the internet in a long time, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe you know what they say though too, dog, is being the fact that everybody's home, bro. You know what I mean?
A lot of people using it.
Yeah, a lot of people are using the internet, you know, and
imagine like the internet goes out for everybody be going crazy for a little bit.
Everybody would go crazy, bro. If the internet went out, everybody would go crazy. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves, bro. Read a book. You know what I did today, bro? I got up this morning, bro. I went and rode a bike, dog. Yeah. I got this mountain bike off of OfferUp, bro. You know what I mean? And I put my headphones on, dog. You know what I mean? And I just fucking just like cruise. I was hopping curbs, homie. I was cutting through people's yards. You know, I mean, I grew up riding bikes, bro.
When was the last time you rode a bike?
I mean, it's been a long time, dog, but I mean, it was very like, I mean, I enjoyed it, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, let's talk about the simple things.
Simple things. Like right now, quarantine simple things. Like right now, it's just cool me not working, you know? Cause like, it's like, I don't like going to work every day and shit. So like in my mind, I feel like, oh shit, kind of manifested that, you know? Not that I manifested this whole sickness, but like, you know, I didn't want to go to work for a little bit. I just wanted a break, you know?
Yeah.
And it's cool just being home, you know? Like, I'm enjoying it, you know?
I'm really
the little simple things, just being at home and shit with family.
Not having to worry about saying, oh, fuck, I got to get up at this time. I got to go.
You know what I mean? Go outside too, like, you know, talk to the plants and shit, you know?
Do you talk to plants?
Yeah, talk to the plants. Not like, hey, what's up? How you doing? But like, yeah.
Or you ain't walking by a motherfucking lemon tree and be like, hey, what's up, big dog? I see you, homie. Bearing fruit, doing what you do, my ninja.
But yeah, you know.
How do you talk to plants, brother?
Just talk to them, play songs. I like playing songs to them, you know.
What kind of songs do you play?
Whatever I'm in the mood that day to, like, you know, get me through the day, cheer me up and shit, you know.
Yeah. What cheers you up, dog? What kind of? Let me put a song out there. Let me hear it. Let me think, see if I know it, bro. You know what I mean? What catches your vibe? What, you know what I mean? Puts you in a good spirit, bro.
It all depends how I'm feeling, you know. It all depends how I'm feeling, you know. Sometimes it could be some oldie shit, you know, some Roy Ayers, you know.
Yeah.
You know, bump some of that shit like Sunshine, Roy Ayers. You know that track. It's like an oldie, you know, 70s soul funk shit, you know.
You like that soul funk shit, huh?
Yeah, you know, I like everything, you know, I like rap, everything, rock.
Yeah. You know what my go-to is all the time, bro? Is I can always catch a cool vibe off some Doors, bro.
Doors, that's all right, bro. That's all like
Doors.
Like you got the albums aside on your story, bro. Like,
yeah, bro.
Doors, bro, you know.
And that's what this is all about right here.
Exactly. You know.
You see that right there?
So like, you know, I'm like, I hold it down in the indigenous scene, you know, but like people always talk about shit about hippies and all that shit, you know, but like growing up, I looked up to hippies because, you know, they were down with psychedelics. And, you know, like growing up, I never did psychedelics. Like I didn't do acid till I was like 21 and shit, you know. But yeah, you know, growing up, I grew up with a lot of the Doors, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix shit, you know. And I was really intrigued by the 60s hippie scene and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think hippies in general, bro, identify with grassroots. Yeah. And when we're talking grassroots, we're talking indigenous. We're talking, you know, native culture. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, because I could see it like that. Like I could see it now, like how hippies were like trying to hold it down, like the tribe and shit. You know, they did their little things and shit. I can see it now, and like it just, I saw a little visual right now. Like that was me just going down the rabbit hole. Like that's the first layer. Like okay, learning about hippies, and then eventually growing up, I started learning more about my roots and ceremony and medicine like that. You know, so I see it both ways. You know, so like I don't get offended when people call this drugs or medicine, because I understand it both ways, you know. All right,
cool. When it comes to ceremonies, explain to people. I mean, what kind of ceremonies are you involved with, bro?
Involved with like sweat lodge sweat lodge ceremonies, done ayahuasca ceremonies. Yeah.
So you done the ayahuasca? Huh?
I've done ayahuasca, yeah. And I've done a little DMT ceremony too. It's like little people, like not a big group, like but yeah, a little small group.
What does that consist of?
Of which one, like
Let's do the ayahuasca ceremony.
So the ayahuasca ceremony, like the ones that I usually attend to, like starts off with a sweat lodge. You go in there, for people that don't know what sweat lodge is, basically like a sauna, like a little, we call them inipis, or the Lakota people call them inipis. That's the sweat lodge house, or Mexica people, Mexican people, they call it the temescal. So if they know what temescal inipis are, that's the sweat lodge. And you go in there, you just sweat, they bring in rocks, they call them grandfathers. They just sing songs, and you purify yourself, and you go into the ceremony wherever it gets held. It's usually at nighttime in a dark room with a bunch of people. And sometimes they have this other medicine, tobacco medicine called hape, where it's tobacco, but it's all powdered, and they throw it up your nose, and it just clears your mind. And then you sit in a circle, sacred circle, and you take the medicine, and it could last 4 or 6 hours, longer.
What kind of trip is that going to put you on, the medicine?
Everyone's different, but like I don't know if like I fucked myself up by taking too much like acid, or because I used to do ecstasy too, so I used to do a bunch of shit like that. When I did the ceremony, like I don't know if they weren't giving me enough of the medicine. I didn't really trip out, like hallucinate how I thought I was, because I always heard DMT or ayahuasca is like you're in the universe, But like for me, I was still in that room. I could notice everything going on, so it was more of a purging for me, throwing up shit. Like that was like the highlight of ayahuasca for me. I'd done it like a couple times.
You were just throwing up then?
Throwing up this nasty shit. It looks all black too. Like you don't know where it comes from. Like sometimes you just feel it coming from your knees. It's all that trauma, that ancestral trauma.
Impurities?
Just everything. You start remembering traumas, childhood traumas, but you start healing a lot of shit. Like, my grandma passed away in 2017. A ceremony, like I was like right there. She came into it's hard to explain it because it's not like hallucinations. Like I can't see her physically, but like that presence was there, and it's just, you could feel a lot of shit, Yeah.
Her presence, huh?
Her presence, and yeah.
It made you sick?
Didn't make me sick. Like,
I mean, not in that way, but in other words,
like when I'm throwing up sometimes, because the medicine is really nasty. It's nasty medicine, real bitter and shit. But I mean, you take it within like 10 minutes, you start feeling it, throwing it up, because everyone throws up in it, Once you start throwing up.
I don't mean to laugh, bro. But if you're in a fucking sweat lodge and everybody's throwing up, bro.
After this, once you're done with the sweat lodge, you go into the room, in the ceremony room. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they give you a chance to get dressed. Even if you want to shower, you can shower. Like,
but do you feel what I'm saying? For a minute, I was just like, bro, like, nah, homie, I don't want to be in there, dog.
Like, people are like claustrophobic in a sweat lodge, and sometimes it could get really packed in one. Some people like be passing out, or like wanting to pass out and start stretching. You're feeling like sweaty people. So like, yeah, you can feel that in that sense in a sweat lodge too, though.
How do them shrooms feel right now?
How do the shrooms feel?
If you guys weren't here, my boy just
I think I'm good right now. I don't know.
My boy just did a capsule of shrooms, not a lot. I mean, it's a microdose. I mean, his capsules are a lot bigger than my capsules. He's got the big dog capsules. The homie just came and gave me the little motherfucking skinny motherfucking dope fiend capsules. You know what I mean? You
never know, man. This might be fucking might hit harder, bro.
You want to take one?
Of those?
You want to take one of these? You want to try one?
Are you gonna try one?
I'll try one in a minute. We'll do one together in a minute.
Cool.
That was a good answer. You want to try one?
But I fucked up by not looking at the time that I took it at. Usually I like looking at the time to see like all right, within the hour I should feel it, you know, sometimes less, sometimes.
Is that what it is within an hour?
For me, yeah. I don't know for the world, but
Fucking Frank, Forever 40s on my bumper about do it. Frank, get your ass over here, bro. Where the fuck is Frank live at? I'm gonna bring Frank over here. I'm just gonna feed him some fucking capsules and shit. He's that dude that's gonna be on the sideline fucking trying to pump everybody up. Hey, but so you don't feel nothing yet, huh?
nah.
Nah.
I feel good, you know, like yeah, I feel good.
You know what? I had so your family is from South America.
My pop's side, my dad's side, yeah,
And your mom's
from El Salvador.
El Salvador. Okay. That's still South America, bro.
It's like Central
America.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But what Central is like, it's all one continent. You know? It's all one continent.
Yeah, no, for sure. So when it comes to the Tongva,
people.
the Tata,
Shout out to the Tongva people.
the
'Cause
Tata
we're
Bien.
Tongva territory right now, so
I mean, are you related to those people?
I'm not related to them, no. But I don't even live in their territory. Like where I live is the San Fernando Valley, so that's Tatavian territory. And then Shumash, that's more Ventura County, so like Simi Valley and you know like Oxnard, Ventura, Camarillo.
So I was fucking with some of your profile and shit, and I seen you had those on there, bro. So it gave me the impression that you were
just residing in their area.
So you're residing in those areas. So you're giving them love.
Yeah, shouting out to them, acknowledging it. And it says like Anawak Simanawak. So
Say that again.
Anawak Simanawak.
Okay.
So Anawak would be like what it's considered North America down to Central America.
Okay.
And then Tawan Tinsuyu would be South America. And Simanawak would be all of it together in Mexica tradition. But other natives call it all Turtle Island. You know, there's many different names for it, you know.
I've heard Turtle Island before. I mean, how bad, bro? How bad did our indigenous people have it, bro? They suffer everything, bro. The genocide, these fucking aliens coming into their fucking land, bro.
And us being nice, you know, to like take them in and like, all right, let's see what they're about, you know. They could, you know,
being nice. Christopher Columbus explained it in one of his memoirs or his diary, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And Christopher Columbus said, hey, you know what? These people are so nice and they're strong. They're going to make great slaves. So what did he do? He took them back to Spain, bro. He took them back to Spain because they were so, when Christopher Columbus went into their fucking land, dog, you know what I mean? These indigenous tribe were so nice to him and welcomed him with open arms because they said, who is this? Who are these people with these horses? They'd never seen horses before, bro. Who are these people with these animals that shoot cannons out their belly? You know? Who are these people with the lightning coming out these sticks?
Ships coming in.
They said, who are these fucking people, bro? Are these people gods? Who are these fucking people?
I didn't want to say it, yeah, like, you know, like that's like they could have easily fooled them to like, we're the gods and shit. You know?
Yeah, we have come to give you, you know what I mean? You know, and they welcomed them to their land, bro. They welcomed these indigenous people, welcome into their fucking home, bro. They said, hey, welcome. This is our fucking home. Let us open the door for you. Come on in. Let us feed you.
Shelter you.
Let us shelter you. Here, let us give you gifts. They gave them gifts, bro.
Like, who knows how many people died in the ship too. So like imagine those like 5 weeks of them traveling, how many people died and how the men were in there like, oh shit, going crazy, you know, like coming out with that attitude. Like, I've been stuck at sea for 5 weeks, seeing people die. They're like ready to rape and shit, you know, like.
And so these indigenous, our ancestors, welcome these fucking animals with open arms into their home. And what do, dog? They hold the leader hostage. They kill. They rape. They feed babies to the fucking dogs, homie.
They burn them alive, bro.
They burned them a fucking alive. You know what I mean? They steal their land. They steal their fucking wealth. These piece of shit motherfuckers, dude. You know what I mean? And these indigenous people, man, our people, you know what I mean? They just, you know, Montezuma's brother, Aztecs. Let's talk Aztecs. Montezuma's brother, bro, told Montezuma, do not let someone come into your home. They can possibly take your fucking home. I don't know if Montezuma was weak. I don't know if he was, they said he was a very decisive person, Montezuma. You know what I mean? He let him in, bro. And what did he do? Exactly what the brother said he was going to do, Cortez. And what was crazy, so treacherous about it, is while Cortez is making his way to Tenochtitlan, hope I'm saying that right. While Cortez is making his way to Tenochtitlan, he's fighting all these other communities, all these other tribes, you know what I mean? And, you know, he's running them over, bro, because these cats got, you know, they got bow and arrows. They have the wood stick with the, what is it? Obsidian?
Obsidian stone.
Stone in them. You know what I mean? I mean, they can hit one time with that and the stone would possibly break and they got to fix it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And here these fucking Spaniards, these punk ass Spaniards that are coming in, and they're coming in with swords. They're coming in with armor, bro. They're coming in with fucking these sticks that shoot lightning, guns, homie. Horses. You know what I mean? They're coming in with all this fucking shit and they're just wiping these dudes out. So by the time Cortez makes his way to Tenochtitlan, there was only 5% Spaniards in that army. They still took it over and shit. There was only 5% Spaniards, bro.
So the rest were like other neighboring tribes.
The next were neighboring tribes and whoever the fuck came on that fucking boat, dog. And you know that boat, they had a bunch of motherfuckers. They had slaves, bro. They had different cats from Europe. You know what I mean?
And all that too. Like while that was happening here, it was also happening in Africa too. You know, so it's like the Portuguese taking over in Africa at the same time. So like, imagine colonization at the same time, you know, crazy shit.
Montezuma should have listened to his brother, because when the fucking army got when the army got into Tenochtitlan, you know what I mean? They were nervous, dog. It's written that they were nervous, bro. You know what I mean? Because they were like, dude, we came in. We came in through these fucking these roads. This shit was like on a lake, bro. They call them chinapas, right? I don't know if I'm saying that right, dog.
I know what you're talking about.
Chinapas is a man-made island. It's made out of roots. It's made out of stakes. This is how Tenochtitlan was.
How they thrived, basically, because they like the neighboring tribes gave them like the shittiest part of the land and shit. It's like nothing survived there, you know, so that's why they gave it to them and they made it work, you know.
They made it work with chinapas.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And it's basically
they said growing food all season, nonstop. You know,
yeah,
everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they were actually very prosperous. The Aztecs were very prosperous over this land that they got, and they grew to a very powerful. The Aztecs at one point, I think they were. I don't know if it's 5 million or 50 million. I think it's 5 million. They're ruling over 5 million people, bro, which is a shitload of fucking people, dog. You know, history is just so crazy, but Montezuma made a bad mistake. He should have listened to his brother, dog, and he should have pulled that. He should have got Cortez. Cortez's troops got nervous, bro, And because they were like, dude, we came in here through these bridges. They can take the bridges out. You know what I mean? They can take the bridges out and we're going to be fucked. We're going to be stuck here. They were nervous. So then Cortez said, all right, fuck it. I'm going to call a meeting with Montezuma. We're going to go in there. We're going to get this dude. We're going to hold this dude hostage. You know what I mean? And then we're going to fucking control the fucking city. You know what I mean? Of Tenochtitlan, you know? And that's what they did. And he should listen to his brother. He should have, Montezuma should have pulled that motherfucker's heart out, bro, and sacrificed that shit to the motherfucking sun god, homie, and called it a motherfucking day, dog. You know what I mean?
That's some crazy shit, bro.
That's crazy.
And that's how it ended for them, like that he was the last real ruler, huh? Or
well, I believe after that, bro, I believe after that, dog, the Spaniards were just fucking, they were just expanding, bro. They were just, they were fucking,
it was like,
bro, they're like fucking aliens coming to these fucking indigenous tribes, these indigenous lands, bro. They'd hunt with bow and arrows, bro.
That lived with the land.
That lived off the land, bro. Agriculture, bro. Like they learned so much from the indigenous people. The Europeans learned so much from the indigenous people, dog.
We were taking showers while they were like having the Black Plague, you know? So it's like, you know, they were like the first dentistries to the Maya people. So they were putting like little jade stones in teeth, you know? Imagine that, you know, without x-rays and just knowing how to put it on the tooth without hitting the nerve, you know? I'm a dental assistant, so yeah.
Are you a dental assistant?
Yeah, so that shit gets me like, damn, that shit's crazy, you know? And then that goes again, you know, like my past lives, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's my past lives, you know?
Your past life, you made a connection.
Yeah. Crazy shit. Yeah, bro. That shit's crazy.
This is for our ancestors right here, brother.
Ancestors.
This is for our ancestors. You know what I mean? And my ancestors lie on both sides of the fence. Ironically. Ironically. I mean, my ancestors, you know what I mean? My mom is Mexican and my pops is straight up, he's Russian Jew, dog. You know what I mean? 100%. On my mom's side, dog, it's crazy. She's Mexican, bro, but it's just broken down in different things, just being the fact that
was he like born in Russia or like his grandparents were?
Grandparents, dog. I mean, actually third generation, bro. Third generation. They migrated. His pops' parents migrated over here, bro.
To New York and shit, like Ellis Island type shit.
Through New York?
Or like during that time?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 100%, bro. You know what I mean? And what's crazy about it is my pop's side is like pure, bro. Like my pop's side goes all the way back to Israel, to the 12th tribe. They actually said we're part of the 13th tribe, the Khazars. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know if too many of you guys know about that shit. You know what I mean?
What's that, like the Israelite stuff?
Yeah, bro. Right. You know what I mean? And then so I got that side of me, dog. And then I got my mom's side, which is Mexican, bro. You know what I mean? And if you're in LA, bro, you know what I mean? You ain't shit unless you motherfucking Mexican, homie. Not like that, bro. But I'm just saying, like it's you know what I mean? You know, it's Mexican land, bro.
Yeah. So like you never,
even though it is indigenous land, because the indigenous had California, had the United States first, bro. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And then the Spaniards came in and ruled over the indigenous people, dog. You know, which you had the Chumash, you had the
Tatavian.
You had the Tangva in California. We're talking California, right?
Yeah, like has so many tribes. Hachiman territory.
Yeah. And shout out to Gas Monkey. I see you right there. We are a melting pot, brother. We were all a melting pot in more ways than one. Why racism is senseless. Shut the hell, you ain't lying, my G. Racism is fucking senseless, dog.
And there you go. Do you think it'll ever end?
Nah, bro.
Right. This is the way it is.
It's the way of the world, dog. There's always going to be someone that thinks they're better than you, bro. By their skin color. Yeah. By their ethnic background. It's ignorance, dog, at its finest, dog. You know what, dog? If I had the knowledge that I had now when I was in prison, doing my time in prison, I'd be fucking slapping up a bunch of fucking white boys, dog. You know what I mean? All those fucking idiots running around with swastikas and fucking lightning bolts and all this stupid ass shit, dog. You know what I mean? But when they needed the homies' help, dog, you know what I mean? They rode with the homies by their side. Like, it's just like it's such a fucking stupid ass fucking game, double-edged sword type shit, dog. You know what I mean? But I didn't start really fucking I didn't care about my history until I started caring about myself.
Yeah. So is that like a couple of years back when you were talking about?
A few years back, yeah. I started caring about myself.
Yeah.
I just didn't care about what I was going to stick my dick in. Next high, next armed robbery, next enemigo that needed to get, whatever.
Yeah.
That whole LA gang thing, dog, just kind of consumed me at one point where that was religion. You know what I mean?
Like, what did you have to do to like step away from it? Did you move away from the area? Did you just...
Nah. I had someone had to die in my family. They didn't have to die, but like a person passed away
to put you at that.
Well, it made me acknowledge, bro. You know what I mean? What was important and what wasn't important. But at the end of the day, I was at the end of a long run. So I think I was just ready for change, I was ready for change. I was ready for I mean, I always felt like, I was better. I'm like, man, I'm better than this. What the fuck am I in with this fucking in this prison yard, in this cell with all these fucking boneheads? But I loved them though. They're my boys, bro. These boneheads are my boys. Why? Because I'm a fucking bonehead too. You know what I mean? Or whatever word you want to use. But anyways, yeah, dog. You know what I mean? But now I that's why I was so excited about having you, bro. Was because you look at you, dog. You're an old soul, brother. You're an old soul. You know what I mean? And when you talk about, if you looked up your fucking ancestry history, it wouldn't be this lifetime, it'd be many lifetimes.
That's crazy that like, have you like looked into your Russian side? Or like, what do you know about your Russian side? Because that's pretty cool to acknowledge too.
Well, I know that like I was telling you, bro, that we're part of the 12 tribes of Israel, dog. You know what I mean? AKA what's known as the chosen people out the Bible and shit. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I've been very prosperous in life. I've made a lot of mistakes and I made out of those mistakes. You know what I mean? Let me knock on wood real quick and shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to will any bad things upon me because I feel like I've been fortunate or because I'm speaking on it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that have passed and I'm still here. Why am I still here? You know what I mean? Is it my roots? Is it because I just got lucky? You know what I mean? Is it because my faith in God? You know what I mean? Was I a day late and a dollar short? You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck it was, bro. I don't know what the fuck it was. Is all I know is I'm still here, bro. You know what I mean? I'm still here. So if I'm still here and a lot of people aren't still here, anybody with any type of fucking head on their shoulder, they're going to contemplate.
It's crazy because like, do you still wonder like what's your purpose, or do you still have those questions, or do you know what your purpose is now, or do you kind of know where your purpose is now?
My purpose is right here, brother.
Yeah, all right, cool. Because that's where I was going to. Because you're just educating. You're educating your viewers. And it's like that's beautiful because you're opening up new ways of how to think and shit. To your viewers. And like that probably would have never heard these conversations or like.
I felt like I had a voice to hear. I felt like I had a voice to share. If you agreed or if you didn't.
Yeah. Your truths.
I have a GED education that I got at 35 years old in the prison system. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Not the baddest motherfucker. A lot of shortcomings. But somehow, some way, with these shortcomings, I've withheld and I've stand the
test of time.
The test of time. Thank you, dog.
Yeah.
The test of time. The test of time. Thank you, brother. And anyways, bro. I mean, I feel like I did music before, and it fell on deaf ears. But the ones that heard it, they loved it. But in regards to numbers, which is life is numbers, you know what I mean? If you like it or not, you know what I mean? There's days in a year, there's hours in a day, you know? When you're paying rent, you're paying for a gas bill, there's a certain amount of time you take in the shower for the kids. Hey, you got a 5-minute shower, you got a 10-minute shower, get your ass in there, get in and out. What the fuck, you're in there for 30 minutes? I mean, life is time, bro. Life is time. I mean, when you put popcorn in a microwave, I believe it says 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Everything's got time on it, bro. If you like it or not. And what's the date again today?
April 3rd.
April 3rd. It's 4:42 p.m. We got INCA Rich and homies just on time. Timing is everything, dog. I don't mean to be cheesy about this shit, bro. But time is God.
Time is all you have.
Time is God, bro.
Time is God. Yeah.
Is time God?
Time is God.
Time is God. Damn. Let that breathe for a minute. Take a drink of this shit. You take a smoke of that.
What happens when you die, though? Does time exist when you die?
Maybe you have a certain amount of time of death until you're born again.
I feel that.
You know?
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. I heard like in the Tibet people, there's like a book, the Tibetan Book of Death. And it's like a guide for when you die. I think you have like 47 days to travel, you know, and it leads you like, did you live a good life? Did you not, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, you go through all these little realms basically, you know. But like I guess like when you die, their family goes there for those 47 nights, and the book, it's like mantras, so they're all like doing the mantras.
What is that? The mantras?
It's like, I don't know, just like when they meditate and they go like that, but it's like certain mantras that they got down. I don't know. I have that book, but it's so hard to read it because it's just mantras basically.
Yeah.
But like it's a guide. They read it for those 47 days, so it's like a ceremony. You know, they're all just singing those 47 days, and you are dead in that those realms. You're just traveling through those realms, and then if you live good, you know, you get to decide what body you go to next. So it's like time, you know. That's where I was going with the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time.
That's crazy.
Damn.
And then when after those 47 days are over, they take the body like up to a mountain, and they leave them like in a meditating pose. And they just leave it right there for like all the animals to eat. It's crazy, huh? You go back to the land like that.
Do you believe when we're born, bro, that we all have an expiration date, a pre-expiration date?
Like we know when the date's already set.
Like there's a date set for everybody.
I think everything just works already set like that, you know. Whatever God, creator, whatever you want to call it.
But do you think he put an expiration date on everybody? Like, you know what? You're gonna live to your 95. You know what? You're gonna die when you're 16 years old. I mean, no, that would be cold-blooded. That wouldn't be a God that would do that unless it was a.
I think it was written like that. Like that quote, it was written. Like I think it was.
It was written in the book of life. That's motherfucking Jamie Marley, dog.
Like if I were to die, like, you know, car crash, it was written that day. You know, even if I didn't go out, I would probably just die another way. Like it's just meant that way. So probably, you know,
it was written.
It was written. So I think everything does have a way it was written. You know.
How is your life going to be written? If you can have a sixth sense.
If I could have a sixth sense,
foresee into the future of your life. What is your journey, brother?
What is my journey? Like how I want to see my life, or like
how do you see it?
How do I see it? I just see it good, you know, just keep doing what I'm doing, you know, taking care of my body and keeping that prayer And whatever prayer is to anybody, however you pray, you know, just religious people, spiritual people, like however you're praying, we're praying the same way, just probably using different names, you know, creator instead of Jesus, but we're all using that same part of the brain, you know? So it's like we're doing something when we pray. So when we pray, you know, you pray, you meditate, you manifest. And I'm not saying like, oh yeah, you're gonna manifest it. I want a fucking house and I'm gonna get a house next week. Like shit, it could happen, you know, but like you gotta work for it too, you know? And it's like just putting in that work, you know, staying committed, you know. Shout out to Kobe having that Mamba mentality, bro.
Staying committed. You know,
Shit.
bro, fucking manifesting shit is fucking big, and I really believe in it, dog. I mean, I pray when I'm doped up. I mean, there's been times that I would, when I was in my hood and shit, dog, and I mean, I'd be doped up and things are going bad, bro. I go to St. Ignatius Church, dog, and I mean, and it's not because I was Catholic, bro. This is a beautiful church in my neighborhood, bro. You know what I mean? And it's not because I'm Catholic, because it's a Catholic church. It's just because I felt like it was a house of worship, a house of prayer, bro. You know what I mean? And if you go into, I feel like if you go into any house of prayer, you don't have to pray to a particular God. If you pray, it's a fucking energy, and that energy and that place is a conduit. You know what I mean? It's a conduit that will take that energy where it needs to go. You know what I mean? Like when you pray, you don't go to a movie theater. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking go to this movie theater and I'm gonna fucking get on my knees. Everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck you doing, fool? You fucking tripping, homie, or what? What's in the popcorn?" You know what I mean? But I'm just saying though, like churches are a conduit. You know what I mean? They're all conduits. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking synagogue. It doesn't matter if it's a Catholic church, a Christian church, a Muslim fucking place. You know what I mean? They're all conduits. And so I would go there, bro, and I would pray. You know what I mean? And one time, I said, man, I'm tired of dealing with these fucking crazy ass hoes. You know what I mean? These bitches, you know what I mean? They fucking, you know, whoop, 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 bob, bob, bob. I said, God, I need a short one with a fucking spicy attitude and a big ass. You know what I mean? And I swear to God, I was at OK Chinese food, dog. You know what I mean? I was at OK Chinese on Eagle Rock, homie, in Colorado. You know?
For them.
Shout out to them. You know what I mean? Hey, I was at OK Chinese food, dog. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, bro, there was a big booty, short, fucking nice titties, and she was fucking ordering some motherfucking, I think some spicy Kung Pao motherfucking chicken, dog. And I said, oh shit, she might be the one. I got her number, bro. You know what I mean? And she was crazy as fuck, bro. You know what I mean? Girl was wild, dog. You know, lasted a little while and it ended. And then I was like, God, all right, let's try this shit again, bro. But I'm just saying, like, man, I swear to God, I prayed on it, dog. That's weird, dog. Like, I should not prayed on that shit, dog. I prayed on other shit, though, real shit, dog. One time I pressed it, I'm tired of dealing with these motherfucking, and I got that. You know what I mean? It's a true story, dog. Anyways, dog, fast food booty. Fast food booty. Shout out to fucking Frank. This Vato probably. Oh, man. Hey, Big Chivo, don't get yourself fucking blocked on these comments, bro. Keep that shit correct, homie. Don't be a cell soldier, homeboy. Anyways, let's keep it pushing. Sometimes you get cell soldiers right here, dog. You know what I mean? And they fucking comedy by themselves, bro. Silly ass fools.
How'd you feel about churches when you were little?
About what? Churches?
Yeah.
I didn't really care for them, bro. I don't really care for the churches,
Like
though.
me, I always had a weird vibe in churches. Like I always felt weird, you know. Now I kind of like it now. Like not like it, like, oh, church is cool, like I go to church, but like I appreciate the church, how they're built, you know. And the designs, you know, some churches are built nice, you know. But like when my parents would go to church, like, I don't know, something never felt right for me in there. Like I don't know what it was, whether it just I don't know.
Maybe it felt like because they were
weird vibes, you know.
Maybe it felt like they had you there against your will, like you didn't have a choice of being there. Sometimes you don't have a choice of something, it can really disrupt your fucking your senses or your vibrations, because you're like, fuck, I don't even want to be here, but really you're not giving it a chance to, you know. I mean, that's so. When I say that, I'm speaking on myself, bro. You know what I mean? Because my mom.
Because when you speak about yourself, like even though we're different types of people,
yeah,
in a way we're mirrors to each other. So like,
yeah,
your whatever knowledge you drop, I'm catching it in my own way, like, you know.
And
we're
vice
mirrors,
versa,
bro. We're mirrors, dog.
Yeah,
we're mirrors.
Mirrors. Yeah, I know we both. Oh man, I love that shit, dog. That shit made that shit tight as fuck. All right. Hey, shout out to everybody. Hey, shout out to everybody on the chat line right now, showing love. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Push that like button.
Do this real quick. All right, we good. Much love, much respect. Hey, brother. So, did those shrooms hit you yet? You good? It was just.
Good.
I mean, it was just a microdose.
Like, yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
My test was like when I ever start seeing the line all wavy, then it would hit. But I think I'm good.
No wavy line, no nothing. Huh?
But I do feel like a little calming body. Like, you know, I'm talking, so I know it's not. You know, usually I'll probably be burned out with all the blunts already. You know, like, but I'm up talking. So,
yeah, so it got you going there and shit. That's dope, bro. That's dope.
Pretty good.
Where's my shit at? Hey, anybody got any questions they want to shoot out? Any questions and shit? We about to head out this motherfucker and shit. Thank you for everybody fucking tuning in, fucking with us, man. It's just been cool, man. I mean, it's Friday. I don't know what you guys are doing Friday night. You know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, it's been cool. We got about close to 2 hours in on this shit. We got the homie INCA Rich right here. We were able to talk ahead on a couple subjects and shit.
Talk about the 5G.
You want to talk about that 5G?
They were asking me about that shit right now.
Let's go. Let's speak on that 5G. What you guys know about that 5G?
And do you guys believe in that shit? You know, or it's like, what kind of question is that? Like, do you believe in it? Like, it exists, and obviously it's not good for us, but we get faster internet, so
yeah, that's what it is, though.
You know,
it's faster internet.
So people are gonna see it that way. Like, we get faster internet.
Obviously, 5G is. They say 5G is 5 times bigger than 4G. You know what I mean?
Do you know when the 4G was like installed and shit?
So sometimes when you see your phones, bro, and you see sometimes it bounce back to 4G, 3G, it's because, or sometimes you'll see it on 5G, it's because it's on a 4G tower, dog. You know what I mean? Or a 3G tower, possibly.
When did 4G started coming in?
I don't even know, dog. I got a little information on it, dog. You know what I mean? You know, they supposedly they're upgrading to the 5G, being the fact that it's more bandwidth. You know what I mean? There's a lot of gamers now. The gamers are getting crazy. I mean, internet and social media, and they're just having those devices. All those devices are all over the place. Yeah, the wireless devices, bro, since they're all over the fucking place and shit, dog. You know what I mean? They need more bandwidth, you know what I mean? And so they had to upgrade to the 5G. 5G carry, so when people see more towers going up, 5G can only carry X amount of length, you know what I mean? It's being the fact that it's a bigger bandwidth, it can't travel too far in the fucking in the air atmosphere, whatever you want to call it, bro, you know what I mean? And so that's why they have to build more fucking towers, you know what I mean? It's a bigger bandwidth. And so people are worried about the radiation. They're worried about controlling people. They're worried about all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? But what they say is it's less radiation than a microwave. And then at the same time, too, you really don't have to trip on it because they're saying because it's so far up in the air. But I don't know, dog. This is just information I gathered and shit, bro. How do you feel about that shit?
Like, I see it, like I said, I see it both ways because I see, okay, you're going to get faster internet. I understand that. But then I understand, like, they're throwing new frequencies up in the air, you know? And even though we can't see that shit, you know, that shit exists, you know? Like, so we're walking through that. So it's like, it's not good for our bodies and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of things aren't good for our bodies. Like we're fucking smoking blunts right now, you know, like so it's like
somebody's gonna get you one way or another.
right.
And that wasn't a COVID-19 cop either, just to let you motherfuckers know and
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Hey, what do we got right here? Let's go. They said 5G is dangerous. Yeah, they're saying 5G is dangerous. 5G will definitely take 20 years from your life. That's a possibility. Hey, that's a possibility, Angel. Real shit.
Just think about it, like you know how like they build them so close to each other next to homes now and shit. Like it might be less than a microwave, but that shit's on like 24/7, bro. Like you know.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to fucking Irving Soto. He said, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna play." What did he say? I'm gonna play 5G. I'm gonna wait. What did he say? Hell yeah, I'm gonna play GTA after this. Fighting Demons says 5G rolled out, got started in Wuhan, China. Yeah, it did get everything. It seemed like everything gets started in Wuhan, China. You know what I mean?
I've seen like those ships. Basically, like those ships are like one of the only ships that have 5G in them.
Yeah.
So then that ship, they got sick in it, you know, and they could be quarantined in there and they're fucking in quarantine 24/7 next to a fucking 5G shit, you know. So it's like, and those army ships, I'm pretty sure they got like 5G. They're army ships, bro. Come on.
Yeah, real shit.
And if it's causing the same symptoms, you know, they could just use it like that, you know. I do believe there is a real virus stuff, but at the same time, like I feel like they're probably using the 5G shit too, you know.
Yeah, no doubt about it, dog. I mean, I'm cool with the 4G. I see you, my G. Saludos to my boy. What up? That's what's right. The whole thing started with CIA. Yeah, our mother Jerry rolled out, got started. It's not good, but people don't care, and they're going to buy new phones as soon as it comes out by the millions. Yeah, I mean, like everyone's always going to get the upgraded fucking technology. Real shit. Who's that right there? That's Tony Luna. Shout out to Tony Luna right there. Appreciate you, my G. Ask him about a book called Broken Spears. Christian B wants to know about a book called Broken Spears.
I don't know.
Never seen it?
Book, no.
Yeah, what's that about, my boy? Drop us something real quick, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna check that shit out. If it's a good book, I'll fuck with it. You know what I mean? Ask him what his favorite Salvadorian food is. Okay.
Obviously pupusas, like yeah. I fuck with the pupusas really.
Yeah.
Yeah. The tamales too. Yeah.
Salvadorian tamales. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people say they don't like them because they're all wet and shit. But like I love Salvadorian tamales.
That's the difference, huh?
Yeah.
They're just wet. They're more wet.
Like the chicken ones. Yeah, they're more wet compared to like the Mexican ones. They're all dry and shit.
I don't, you know what, bro? Check it out, dog. I mean, no disrespect, but I don't ever go to a fucking restaurant that says Salvadorian on it, dog.
That shit's bomb, bro.
But I don't have no real close Salvadorian homies that can be like, hey, bro, like I'm at his crib, dog. He's like, I got this shit right here to give me a chance. I don't give it. I fuck with papusas, dog. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't, bro? Yeah. I mean, if it's a good papusa, dog, then you can't, dog. They're bomb, bro. You know what I mean? Straight up, bro. But rather than that, outside of that, bro, I haven't really fucked with nothing else. I mean, if it ain't a Mexican joint that I know or a Mexican joint that's been recommended, bro, you know I mean, like I have my go-to shit that I eat anyways, bro. But I mean, in regards to tamales, though, dog, you know what I mean? You know, even with Mexican tamales, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard to find a good spot, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got them cats that put all that fucking masa on that shit, dog.
Like
and there's
chicken.
Yeah, there's just like a little sliver of fucking carne, you know what I mean? If it's fucking pollo, or if it's a, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck is shredded beef, dog, you know what I mean? My grandma used to make some really good, rest in peace to my grandma, you know what I mean? My grandma used to make some really good sweet tamales. You know what I mean? She'd make them with the raisins, dog. You know what I mean? Oh, man, those were so fucking fire, dog. And so every time I go to my grandma's house, like around the holidays and shit, you just opened up the bottom fucking slider where you put the fruit in your refrigerator, bro, and it would be filled with fucking tamales, dog. You know what I mean? And they were fucking fire. You know what I mean? And my mom and my aunt, they've tried to, they tried to fucking do the same thing that my grandma was doing, maybe the same recipe, but I don't think they got it down, bro. I don't think they got it down, dog. You know what I mean? But I love food, dog.
Oh, food bomb, bro.
Yeah. Hey, but you brought me a little present right here. What'd you bring me right here, my G?
That's a wachuma cactus right there. people might know it as San Pedro cactus, but there's sacred cactus from Tawantinsuyu, from Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and yeah, and some sage, bro. It's your gift.
That's dope, my boy. Thank you so much,
Gotta
brother.
like water it once a week and shit.
Water once a week, dog. That's
Bro,
dope.
you could even plant it in your yard and it'll grow faster.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it in here, bro. Can I keep it in here?
You could.
I'll keep it in here, dog, because to me that's just like a fucking dope ass gift, dog. Like, how many motherfuckers come through and they give you a fucking cactus and some sage as a gift? You know what I mean?
I haven't attended a ceremony, but there's ceremonies, wachuma ceremonies, where they brew it in a tea and you sip it.
And it gets you fucked up.
It doesn't get you, but I think it's probably like this, you know, like start healing. It's medicine.
I was gonna say bye plant.
Nah,
fucking this shit up. I mean,
yeah.
that's a psychedelic cactus, real shit. I don't know about this dude right here. G-Town, Colorado. I'm here. G-Town, Colorado. What up, homeboy? Much love for Colorado, man. Wow, high motherfucking shit. Hey.
Colorado. That's where the shrooms are legal, right?
Yeah.
Denver.
I mean, they're decriminalized in San Francisco. I don't know how far. I don't know in LA. I mean, in LA, bro, it's like, man, you just like don't catch a murder, don't catch a high-speed pursuit, don't catch a gun charge, and around that you're straight. You know what I mean? I mean, LA is just like, they got so many cases of cats going in, bro. Like, you get busted for some stupid shit, bro. They're gonna be like, you ain't even a real criminal, homie. You know what I mean? What the fuck you doing here? What the fuck is this shit? Oh, you stole a motherfucking, or just like some low-level criminal shit. They're like, get the fuck out of here, dog. But because they got so many crazy motherfuckers out here, dog. But when you go to like Arizona or some other spots, they got crazy cats out there too, dog. Or they got crazy cats, but it's just it's smaller in numbers, dog.
That's where you were at in Arizona.
No, I was here in California, but I did time. I went to Arizona one night and I got busted for 2 years. I stayed there for 2 years. I went there one night and stayed there for 2 years.
Oh, shout out to Arizona.
Shout out to Arizona, dog.
Yeah.
Won't ever step foot in that state again, dog. I've never been scared in my life in a fucking courtroom, dog. They were like robots, dog, like white robots, homie. You know what I mean? Like, they were just, oh man, they were just fucking tossing time out like nothing right there, dog. And I was just like, nah, bro. These fucking, you know what I mean? They just gave you 10 years for a DUI. They don't fuck around.
My cousin, I have a cousin. She lives out there, but like, she always used to say, when she used to visit Arizona, it's like, come on vacation, leave on probation.
I don't want to go to no state that has a fucking, I didn't even know that before, bro. You know what I mean? But then again, I was on some other shit, dog. I didn't give a fuck probably. But I mean, to this point in time, if someone says, oh, come on vacation, leave on probation, I'm like, nah, dog. I ain't fucking with you.
Arizona.
I ain't going there.
Damn.
Shout out to Francisco AZ up in there. I did time in fucking Florence, Kingman, and some other fucking joint, dog. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm good. You know what I mean? And I went through the Matrix in fucking that county jail in fucking Joe Arpaio. I went in Phoenix, bro.
With the pink socks.
Yeah, because so when I got busted out there, check out. I got busted out there. I fucking bailed out from there back in LA, caught a case. Anyways, on the run, got busted, fought the case in LA County Jail, got extradited to AZ, but I didn't get busted in Phoenix. I got busted in Yakapai. I don't know what the fuck county. You know what I mean? It's something. Fuck, it's not you. Anyways, but when I got extradited out there, they sent me through Phoenix, bro. I had to get processed into Phoenix, dog. You know what I mean? And fucking when I was in LA County, they're like, hey, look, they're gonna make you wear fucking pink fucking boxers and shit and give you pink shit, homie. I'm like, man, fuck that, fool. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be wearing that shit, homie. Crazy as fuck. You gonna put me in some pink boxers, homie. You motherfuckers are stupid. I said, hey, homie, check it out. When I'm out there, picture the line movement, homie. And all these dudes got pink on, and there's gonna be one dude butt naked, homie. That's gonna be me right there. That's what I said, right? So by the time I got extradited out there I went to fucking like 3 different county jails. I went to San Bernardino, then I went to Parker, and then from Parker they took me out to then to Phoenix, and then I got to the last county jail where I got busted at in that county, bro. But anyways, and when I hit Phoenix, bro, they put me through that Matrix, fool. Peak game, fool. They put me through the Matrix and shit, dog. And it's like, it ain't the same as LA County, you know what I mean? It's just a different, it's different because I'm not from there. That's why it's different. Not for good, not for bad. It's different because I'm not from there. Okay. And so, anyways, I'm in these cells, and these cells got the air conditioning, dog. They call it the matrix. You got to get into this county jail through some shit called the matrix. In other words, you got to go through all kinds of fucking just holding tanks, dog, until you make it to the end and get out to a cell and get a bedroll and get some fucking clothes and fucking food, dog. You know what I mean? So, anyways, but every single one of those cells, bro, were like a refrigerator, dog. It was like a fucking refrigerator, dog.
Like cold or
cold as fuck.
yeah.
So we finally get to the last cell where I gotta take my clothes off, homie. And the clothes that I had on were these street clothes that I got extradited. And they put me in their jailhouse clothes, and then they take me out to a fucking cop car, and I put my street clothes back on. It was just kind of like a weird thing, bro. They were extradited. It was extradition, dog. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, I was cold in my street clothes, bro. And so by the time I fucking got to the point where they gave me a bedroll, and they give me these
shit.
they give me this pink shit. I'm naked, bro. You know what I mean? I'm naked, bro. I'm butt naked, dog.
It's
you know what I mean?
cold.
It's cold as fuck, dog. You know what I mean? My fucking my dick, homie. You know what I mean? Look like a midget dick, homie. That's how cold I am, dog. You know what I mean? Look like I was like, oh shit, where the fuck you go? You know what I mean? It was cold, bro. You know what I mean? So they threw me those socks. They threw me those boxers, homie. What the fuck did I do with it, bro?
You put them on.
I put that shit on, dog. And I told the homies I was gonna put that shit on, dog. I said, homie, picture one dude butt naked. Nah, dog. Picture that motherfucker with pink on, dog. That was me, dog. I fucking, oh man, dog.
So was that
disgrace.
Was that only right there in Phoenix then, or?
Nah, that was only right there in Phoenix, dog. They fucking do you dirty right there. And then I the cops came and picked me up. I got into a cell, bro, and they were trying to put me. No disrespect, dog, but they try to put me with the black dude, homie. The black dude came to my cell, homie, and I said, you can't be in here, bro. You know what I mean? You know, because they sell different races up right there, dog. You know what I mean? And they put me in a cell, and I was tired as fuck going through this processing, bro. And then all of a sudden, this dude come to my shit like, bro, nah, you can't be in here, homie. You know what I mean?
So then what happens in that situation, right?
Matter of fact, that wasn't in fucking that county jail. That was in that fucking last county jail. I mean, they put me in with another fucking with another homie and shit, dog. You know what I mean? From AZ and shit, whatever. No, that was in the next county jail, dog, where that happened. But anyways, yeah, dog. Fuck all that shit. Fuck extradition. Hey, we love you, motherfuckers. Hey, INCA Rich, what you got to say about as we get out this motherfucker, dog? What you got to say, dog? Drop him a gem, homie. You know what I mean?
Like, first I want to say thank you for having me on here. The shit was dope. Like, I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but shit. So thank you for that shit. To everybody, like, damn. I know it's crazy. It's probably gonna get crazier. You know, this is just the beginning, but don't trip, you know, like just keep that prayer strong because we got this. And like, I don't know. They're just trying to push that fear shit, and it's working to some people, but you know, that's like our duty to like let them know, like, yo, don't fall for that shit. I don't really know what to say, you know.
You said it, dog.
That's all then.
Bro, check it out, dog. We'll have you back on one time, sometime soon. I mean, be powerful, bro. Be powerful. Be look at yourself like a brick wall.
I'm a brick wall.
You know what I mean? Nothing's coming through it.
There you go.
You know, I mean, that's how I try to. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, but I get it. I get your energy. I get your vibe, bro.
Shit.
You know what I mean? I respect it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I feel like
don't overthink this shit. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it, bro. You got it, dog. You know what I mean? And you're 29 years old, dog. Yeah. I mean, technically, you're kind of still a baby, bro. You know, but you got an old soul in you, bro.
Old soul.
You got that old soul, bro. You're tapped into the roots, to the fucking what you stand on. You're tapped into it, bro. Yeah. You're one with it.
It's like, what do I do with it? But like, you know, I ask those questions sometimes. Like, yo, what do I do with that? You know, like, you know, just keep doing it. You know, but like, it's not to question it. But yeah, I feel that.
I mean, you're a fucking low key. You're kind of a unicorn in this world that we live in, bro. And I hate to use that word, but that's what they call people, bro, that are eccentric. They call people that are 100% to their roots, indigenous in 2020, right? You know, like I respect it, bro. You know what I mean? I respect it and I love it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that we're able to fucking chill here, dog, and catch a cool vibe, dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Tight, bro.
And just like fucking shoot it, dog. However it came out. I mean, wherever it went. I mean, this has been good. This has been good. It's been dope, dog. Thank you for being here. Everybody give it up for INCA Rich.
This shit was